So today I have the honor of speaking with the Philly-based group Cold Court. So if you guys could just like go across the line and introduce yourself and what you do in the band.
I'm JoJo.
What do you play?
Um,
Just JoJo.
Yeah.
That's it.
I play guitar and vocals.
I'm Minnie, and I play guitars and vocals.
I'm Joe, and I do percussion and synth sometimes and other random stuff.
All right, I'm Alex Sodasis, and I play viola.
I'm Charlie Westlake. I play sax and synths.
I'm Jet. I play the drums.
Sick. Well, I'm so excited to talk about all the exciting things that you guys have coming up, including your performance tomorrow with Black MIDI at Union Transfer. And I know you guys have been working on songs and doing rehearsals, so thank you so much for taking the time to sit down with me today. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah. So I want to start off by kind of getting some background on you guys as a band and kind of how you came to be. So can you take me through like how you guys met, how you guys started rehearsing, all that stuff?
That's a hell of a story.
Yeah, it is.
That takes a minute.
Well, me and Minnie we had like this project, I guess in high school before we came here, and we were as a different lineup, and then when we came here, we met Charlie and Jet. Actually, I met Jet a little before school at an injury reserve show, but yeah, we made friends with Charlie and Jet, and we've been playing with them, and then recently, we've added. Yeah, like Alex, Joe, and Theo, our bassist, who's not here. But we've been playing together for a good minute now. All of us, yeah.
How long was Cold Court like a thing before you guys met everyone here?
It's a year now. Yeah.
June 23rd will be a full year.
Yeah. Well, at least
Very
me
cool.
and Minnie. But like
Yeah.
everyone it's been less than that, of course. But yeah.
Very cool.
It's been like 6 or 7 months, probably, this entire lineup. I mean, him
Yeah.
and Theo just joined probably like,
What was that, like March?
yeah, probably March.
Yeah.
Yeah.
so-
Cool, yeah. And I think like one of the most interesting things as of you as a band is kind of the individuality that each of you guys have. So if you guys could each kind of describe your musical upbringing and kind of how you got into playing music.
You guys go first.
Okay, I mean, for me, I was raised on a lot of like the Beatles are my dad's favorite band ever, but also he's super into the Grateful Dead, but that doesn't really factor into anything. Apart from that, he's also super into jazz, so that kind of I kind of followed that thread for a little while. Around 8th grade, I started listening to like more hip hop than like just Eminem, and now I've just been very deep into like a lot of like jazz and soul stuff and just a lot of that, but also still like Black Country New Road are my favorite band and Black MIDI, so I'm still like pretty much all over the place, but that's generally where I am.
Sick.
Yeah, I didn't like really have like a musical family. Like I would say I was like Jet in the same case. My dad was really into music. His case is really like mainly so like Southern jam bands. He really loved like any band that had a song with a 45-minute guitar solo. Like that was his thing. And then I would say, but honestly, I got like most of like my musical foundation from my sister. She was really just into like a lot of cool like R&B and soul music, and I feel like just like from there that stemmed into like my love for like just every other genre I'm into now: pop, punk, hip hop, all that stuff. Yeah.
All right. My parents I grew up in Mexico, and my parents are both Mexican. And they just raised me on a lot of like Latin rock and stuff. It wasn't a lot of like contemporary like anything American besides like the Beatles, who aren't even American. No, I mean, I moved here middle school, and around that time I started making friends with people who were also into music. I joined the orchestra, and I started learning a lot of like theory and stuff through that. And all my friends were listening to like all this like indie stuff, whatever, and like classic rock. Yeah, I don't even know. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I guess since then I've just been like in orchestra for a long time. Started like playing guitar and like just trying to do all these other different genres and stuff.
My parents listened to a lot of music, but they weren't like really big into it. But my uncle was like a musician, and he taught me how to play drums. He taught me how to play guitar a little bit, and most of my musical taste came from him originally until I branched out and found like hip hop and jazz and all that stuff like by myself. And then I taught myself like whatever I can, pretty much anything I play now. I like had to like teach myself, sit down, and I just listen to everything because I like everything.
Nice. For me, it was probably like growing up. At the time, like when I was a kid, all we'd really listen to, like all that I would really hear was like hip hop, salsa, and jazz, and like on repeat the entire time. And I think when I discovered like bands like the Mars Volta and just like anything other than hip hop, salsa, and jazz, I got really excited, and I wanted to like just dive into that world. And then me and JoJo picked up, like we just decided we wanted to play. And then now that we're on this journey, I kind of go back to like hip hop, salsa, and jazz. And now putting that in with like the other influences I have, like the prog stuff and like folk stuff, like all that stuff just kind of combines. It makes what it is.
Yeah, I want to go back to the Mars Volta because like half of our family, Minnie and I, are like Puerto Rican, of course, and like our uncle, I think, would always put on this like video of them playing at like Terminal 5, and it's like it's always been ingrained in our heads since the day we saw it. We were like, we had to have been like maybe like 6 and 9 at the time when we first saw it. It was like the best thing ever, and like we were both like raised on a lot of soul and jazz and hip hop, but like, I mean, it's all like the same thing, you know, to me, whatever, you know.
And they looked like us, which is real cool.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, the thing is, I can definitely hear like each of those influences in your music, which I think is why Cold Quartz sound is so like striking. I'm also wondering, like, with all of the new music you've been writing ever since you like formed the band and stuff, what kind of artists, albums, like anything specific have you been listening to lately? Anyone can answer this question.
A lot of Yes.
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 Not Black MIDI. I don't know who those guys are.
I would say probably I think out of most of us, I stay like the most up to date on like everything that's coming out like literally day of. I'm like weirdly obsessive about it. So as of like things that have dropped recently, I really love the new Jordan Ward album, and like a lot of the drums in that are really interesting and just not what you'd expect to hear on just really a lot of stuff now. So I take a lot of that into account, especially the use of space there, because I do a lot and I could be doing less. Yeah.
I knew you'd have like a very intense answer for that one. And then would you say that your music has like developed at all, like since you formed the group?
Absolutely. Yeah,
like what did it sound like before versus kind of how it sounds now?
When me and Joe first started, we were like a shoegaze band. We wanted to be like,
we'll talk in the mic at the same time, but it was like, you know, just like noisy, like hardcore stuff, just like not really knowing how to play like anything other than that.
yeah, we really like, we started like the same time we started guitar, the same time we started a band. So like off the rip, we just started playing like noisy, like Boris, My Bloody Valentine.
Oh yeah.
Were like our biggest influences. Like we
loved Boris a lot.
Boredoms and like bands like that was like we wanted to be like that, and like we weren't good, and I think that's why we got good at our instruments, which is like probably what changed a lot.
I will say, like, incorporating like everyone else's influences and like the music they enjoy, like having everyone like you know, put the part of themselves into the music as like we grew the band has like always like it's changed over time, but like we still like the same, like, you know, Japanese noise rock we've been listening to. It's just like it just comes out in a different way in
Yeah.
our music nowadays, just like with everyone here.
Yeah, I think as like the lineup changes, it just like sometimes someone is playing something else, like JoJo will play bass, and like just the sound will change, like with just
Yeah.
like things like simple as that.
Yeah, I think that's natural. Like whenever you have a new musical influence, it brings in like a whole
Yeah.
plethora of different sounds. And then kind of talking about like the genre thing, like I think it's kind of hard to put you guys in a certain thing. Would you like describe yourself in any genre or any like multiple genre?
No.
Probably not.
Yeah.
Avant-
Do you
so.
actively like tried to not be in a genre, or is it just kind of like all goes?
I feel like it's unnecessary.
Yeah.
I think.
I agree.
We prefer the term avant swag.
Oh.
I
The
think-
title of this interview will be Avant Swag.
I feel like I picked up on the vibe that none of us really like labels. So not having that kind of label allows us to like do a bunch of different things and make it really interesting, honestly.
Yeah, I definitely think you guys don't need to define anything about your sound. It stands on its own very well. And then I also kind of want to talk about your writing process and how you guys like create the music that you do. So is it like split up like the different like jobs, or is it very collaborative when you guys write? Or does it depend?
It kind of mainly comes from riffs like that. Me or JoJo, or like maybe even Theo would like have a bass line or something like that, and we kind of just bring it to practice and we jam them out. I feel like it starts like, especially recently, like JoJo or I would like sit down and we'd write something on the guitar and like write out a little bit of a structure, maybe words and like melodies and sections, and then we just bring them and then they would just form into songs like with everyone else.
I also feel like one of like the big things in our songwriting process is that at this rate we've been probably doing more shows than we've actually been doing like songwriting sessions and rehearsals. But honestly it's been good for us because I feel like we like develop like JoJo and like Minnie like develop like the songs, show them to us, and then like rehearsal we'll like work something out and do something. But honestly, I feel like the real beauty behind our writing is like when we play them live, we like tend to do something like different every time, and we're like evolving the song. And I feel like we find like a lot of our greatest moments in some of our songs and our best parts that we just made just like on the fly in like a live situation.
Yeah, I think like one of the most like amazing parts of you guys' band is like your live performances, and I think that's really kind of how that music is supposed to be consumed. Do you guys have any like inspirations when it comes to live performance? Like, did you grow up watching anyone that you really try to embody on stage?
Once again, the Mars Volta.
Yeah.
Honestly, just watching them like, or just like a lot of artists, just watching them just like have fun on stage. Like them specifically, we just see them like salsa dancing, and that's like something we would see in like our grandpa's backyard. And we're like, holy crap, like we could do that too on stage. Like, and it's like just like, yeah. I mean, also like a lot of people in the scene, it's like in the Philly scene specifically, just seeing the sheer passion that everyone like really displays in their music, even like
Definitely.
at a hardcore show with like 12 people in the basement. It's like really
Yeah.
inspiring, you know.
Yeah, I feel like every time we see a band live, it's always just like kind of like ignites the fire. It's like, oh, I want to play so bad, like, and we want to play a show so bad. Like, I feel like I noticed too, like with like Alex, like when we seen shows. I think what was it, Shame that we saw? Oh yeah. Their bass is crazy.
Dude, that guy's
around.
jumping off like
Yeah.
the kick drum and everything.
And I think
running.
like ever since like I like could tell like Alex like makes it a point to like be more like moving around. I think like it's so cool like how it can like how we all like I could see each other grow, like everyone else grow. It's cool.
With that point, I mean, there was a big hardcore scene in San Antonio, Texas, where I'm from. Everyone else is from Jersey, so I'm like kind of the outlier. But it's like, yeah, something I would notice is there's like a lot of these shows are like very DIY. There's no stage or anything, and it'll be like out in the open since there's no basements. And so it's almost like the band kind of becomes one with the crowd that's around it. And so it's like when the crowd gets really excited and they'll just like start moshing, it's like someone playing guitar will just like fucking like jump in and just, I don't know, start beating people up. Yeah.
I think that's why like Philly's a really good place for you guys, I think, because that like fan interaction and how much like in the DIY scene here, like the fans are such a part of like the show and they're so close to you. And I know you guys have a lot of experience now under your belt kind of with the Philly house show scene. I found it's very like welcoming and very community. But I'd love to hear like your insight on the scene. Like, is there any negatives you face? Is there any like really great experiences that you've had like in the DIY scene?
I would say, I guess, like, starting out, and maybe this is just, it's just difficult to be a new band, like, first and foremost.
Yeah.
In any scene, in any place, it's just difficult to be a new band. You know, there's the same struggles here as there are everywhere, but I feel like here, at least an upside of that is so many people are actively trying to get into the scene that there is really a feeling of, like, I like what you're doing. Let's bring each other, up together and let's, organize shows and get bills together with, all the bands we're friends with and people we really admire. And I love that there's that sense of community here. I think it's really tight-knit, and that helps a lot.
Yeah. No, I definitely think Philly's great because I think everything really comes from the scene. Like, there's just these huge booking agencies that just people made with their friends. And I think that's why it's so, like, community-esque. But, yeah. And then I also want to talk about your show tomorrow with Black MIDI, of course. How are you guys feeling, approaching? Nerves, excitement, all of the above?
I'm so excited.
Yeah, just excited to be on that stage, play.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm also very excited. Some nerves, but like it's
Of course,
like
it's natural.
overpowered by like the excitement, of course.
Yeah.
I'm really excited to see our friends there, just like jumping around. Honestly, like it's the most exciting part of it all. Honestly.
I would say, like, honestly, most of all for me, I'm just very thankful that, we have this opportunity and that it's something that, we really had to work for, and also, like, we took advantage of an opportunity that was there, Yeah, very excited because it's, like, obviously this is our kind of biggest show yet, but on, like, a very grand scheme, it feels like this just like the beginning.
I'm really excited for the show tomorrow, but I'm even more excited that people will finally be able to hear me and Alex in HD tomorrow. So that will be awesome.
Not in the basement.
And Joe. And Joe.
Well, I, for one, am not excited at all.
Yeah, it's gonna be shit.
No, obviously, like, I'm also so excited. I guess for nerves, like, it's become very real over the past couple of days, and I think once it gets really real and we're like standing in Union Transfer tomorrow during sound check or load in or
There'll be so much adrenaline though.
yeah,
That's the thing.
yeah, we're really excited though.
What do you hope like to really get out of this opportunity? Like, where do you think Cold Court could go from here?
I guess I'll answer it. I don't know. I mean, of course we want to be like recognized, and we want our music to be recognized. But I honestly just want to keep playing shows and stuff. Not much. I mean, one of the first things we like talked about once we like I guess found out about the opportunity was like, oh, like what should we do like after and like next? Like we have to plan out. Like we're trying to play a show like the weekend after the show too. I don't think we got one, but like I don't know. We just got to keep the momentum going. Like strike while the iron's hot and shit, you know.
Yeah. I feel like it's just like kind of just like establishing ourselves like more and more. I feel like with Black MIDI, hopefully will come a lot more opportunities. Like after we play the show, we'll definitely gain a lot more eyes on us. I feel like that's another big thing. With the bigger the audience, I think the more it gets spread around, and hopefully the right people will hear us, or at least we'll be closer to the right person hearing us.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, it's definitely a really exciting time. And I know, like, this has kind of been in the works for a while. But, like, how long have you guys known about this opportunity? Like, how did it come to be that you're performing with Black MIDI? The shortened version.
So we saw that the tour was announced, and we were like, we've been in talks with Callum for a bit now.
Shout out Callum.
Yeah, he's a good. He's a
Shout
really
out
nice guy.
Callum.
He's a good guy. And we saw that the tour was announced, and I was like, we gotta DM him. we gotta just like tell them like that we want to play. Like we could totally get that. And people were downing it. They were like, oh, well, we don't know if we should. And then like basically like I talked to my mom about it, and like my mom kind of encouraged us. That way.
Shout out mom.
Yeah, shout out mom.
Shout out
my
Mom.
mom kind of like solidified it and like put her foot down. She's like, you guys have to like reach out. You have to say something. And so we sent him a DM on Instagram. It was like, hey, we see you guys got no opener. so keep us in
You
mind.
texted Mr. MIDI.
Yeah.
And you
Keep us in mind. And then Callum got back and was like, I don't know just yet, but I'll let you guys know. And we were like, we didn't think we got it. We were like, well, it was like.
well, you never know. That's the thing.
I was definitely against like asking because I was like the most against it out of all of us. I feel like because I was just like, oh, like this is just so out of our realm. Like I don't know if we were like ready for this. And then like yeah, our mom was just like, no, you have to. And if you don't, I think she was gonna take something away from me. Yeah, she was actually. She was like, oh, like I'm not getting you this or something. I don't know what it was, but she like kind of like threatened me.
Mom's your publicist right now.
Yeah.
She's working for you.
Yeah.
Rightfully so.
I think, yeah, another thing is like maybe, I think honestly, it's pretty possible that at the time we weren't really ready. Yeah. But in the months that have passed since, you know, we agreed to do this, we definitely are now, so.
No, I know you guys have done a lot of performances and stuff recently. I've definitely seen like the confidence grow, so I'm excited to see you. I think it's gonna be great. And then what kind of projects have you been working on recently that you can kind of talk about? Like, have you been working on a lot of music? What have you guys been up to that people can be excited to see from Cold Court? You don't have to like tell me what, just like in general. Like, have you been working on music? Are you excited to?
Yeah,
Yeah.
just mostly like recording lately. I mean, that's like the only thing we've been doing, just recording, right? I mean, if you guys want to.
I could say I'm recording with Holy Ghost Productions. Shout out Max and Henry. That and then this is coming out after the show, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I mean we can just reveal now. Like we'll have sold tapes at the show.
Yeah.
So we'll have recorded music out. You know, sometime soon. It's not like obviously like a full finished product, but like there will be music out for people to listen to very,
Demos
very soon.
and like live versions.
Today we just put out a video of our live set from Jawn.
Yes, I saw that.
yeah.
That'll be linked down below as well.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I'm so excited to see everything that you guys have coming up in the next like year and stuff. I know you've been working for quite some time about like music and stuff. So where do you see like down the line in like 10 years or something? Where do you see Cold Court being?
I think
5 to 10 years.
we're gonna be a full-out merengue band, most likely.
Yeah, that's the natural progression.
There'll be 20 of us in the band at
There'll
that
be 20 of
point.
us.
Jet will have a pedal board.
Horn section.
Yeah,
Full orchestra.
full orchestra. And we will only be doing stadium shows regardless the
Yeah.
audience.
But realistically, no idea, honestly. No idea what kind of music we'll be playing. I wouldn't be surprised if we did salsa.
Yes, we probably
Salsa
will.
era.
One of the things I think I love most about this group is just how much stuff we kind of figure out as we go, whether it's, as Charlie talked about before, like playing songs during live shows and having them develop and stuff, and just also like just the spontaneous nature of like a lot of the stuff we do, but it always just ends up working out. And I think like even if the answer right now is we'll figure it out, we'll figure it out.
I think that's what I like about you guys too. I think like there's always something new that you're putting out, so it's hard to like imagine where you guys will be. But as for like this year, what's your like goals for this year?
We are definitely planning on putting out a single, hopefully, at least like earliest this summer, right? I would say. Yeah.
Something around there.
The summer's like next week, so it's like.
that's true.
Yeah, we'll say something.
But we definitely like need to put out music, in my opinion, and like we've been like kind of itching to, and also we want to go to Brazil,
Coco in Brazil very soon.
Oh, I can't wait. And then is there anything else really that you guys want to talk about or share with the audience before we wrap things up?
Coco podcast.
Is that out yet, by the way?
It's coming out.
It's coming out?
Yeah.
That's
Me
the other thing
and
to
Mitty
look
did the
forward to.
first episode. It's 3 hours long.
Yeah. It was just me and Charlie.
No cuts. It's
No
just going to be
cuts.
straight through 3 hours. Raw footage.
So it was
Sick.
actually 3 hours and 33 minutes long.
Whew.
It's perfect.
If you're a real one, you'll know all 3 hours. Yeah, well, thank you guys so much for sitting down with
Thank
me
you.
today. Everyone look at
Thank you.
Long John, sorry. The recording on YouTube
God.
now. Yeah. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course.
Thank you.